Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Story Starry Night, episode 12. So, that was late afternoon, Saturday, and they were in the limo, okay, going around the town and trying to follow orders which were being given by the Secret Society of Edinburgh. So all the time they sat in the limo and they had another driver in the limo and they were going up and down the town and kids were getting a little bit angry and hungry as well. And so they said, oh, we need to know the butterfly, okay, just at Chloe's hand. And well, it was pretty fine, but they should go somewhere. So they were trying to get the address correct. And then it seems there was something going on there. And then they said, we've got to go to Nail's Garden. Okay, it was just near the golf place. So they had been there quite a long time ago. So they were heading there. Valentina was a little bit worried. She said, oh, we need to, talk to the hostel and make sure we have plans to go back tomorrow for sure. And this doesn't carry on longer than it is already been. Anyway, Chloe wanted to know more about the whole thing, and she said, why do we need to? What happens if we don't, if I just give up and I don't hold the butterfly, or I just open the window? And then he said, like, the magic is about to die, and magic is our endangered species, just like those creatures and rare creatures. And once they are not, nobody speaks about them anymore. They die. They die in the mind, in the mouth, and the stories of the people. So just like the gardens party, we need to keep telling those tales, otherwise they disappear. They knew Scotland is an enchanted land, and there's so many tales all around, from witches to fairies and fairy grounds and fairy pools, and all over the places there's magic going on. He says, but nobody believes it anymore. So once they don't believe it in their hearts, it's going to die. And we need to save it. That's our duty, to save all the endangered species, either animals, strange creatures, monsters, and all sorts of beings. Okay, and then Vittorio was like, I don't believe in these tales. I don't even believe in Santa Claus. My mother always told he was going to come. Then we find out she buys all those gifts for us. And she keeps buying them, since the beginning of the year, because she wants to buy them on sale. So she starts right after the sales for Christmas. And then she keeps hiding all the gifts, and then we find out this kind of thing. And then the guy said, that's precisely the case. And so they are all endangered, and people are taking over their duties. They don't allow them to keep with their jobs anymore. Anyway, they arrived in Nail's Garden, opened the door, went out, and there's a beautiful pond quite big, but he also said, he explained, this is also shrinking. There are many ponds that are shrinking in Scotland and other places in the world, and there are creatures living in them. And we have so much work, you can't believe it. So I have to go, we have to be a little bit fast. And then of course Valentina was like, when are we going to finish this? Okay, either real or tale or fake news. I need to go and see my boyfriend. Okay, then the guy said, okay, don't worry, Valentina, you're going to be off today, tonight, late, the maximum. Okay, so they were there. It was a beautiful afternoon. They got, there was just a little bit parlor with some ice cream and snacks. The guy fetched them some snacks. They were all happy having sodas and popcorn and this kind of thing. And of course, being careful with the environment, not throwing any litter and the sort of thing we always try our best with our kids. So what do we have to do? They said, round and round Nails Lake, see your shadow, and this is no fake. I love you, pond, but I love you more. The butterfly is here for our sake and soar. Okay, he said, you need to go chanting from your heart around the pond and get back to here. Okay, so she did it. Do you need to go with her? No, you have to stay. So there were the three of them sitting there waiting for Chloe to go. And Chloe, they just knew Chloe is very slow to walk. So she was walking like, they said, look, this is going to end tomorrow. But anyway, they had to wait. The pond was really big and long. And then it's been about 5 minutes. Chloe came back and said, the butterfly is gone. Oh, God. Then the guy said, oh no, we missed another chance to save Magic. Said, how are we going to save Magic? What do we need to do with the butterfly? After all, if you tell us what is going to come next, we might be able to help. He said, she needs to go around the lake. And then she's going to come back. And there's a tower, okay, at Dunstan Gulf. There's a little bit over there. And we need to pass through there. Then we go from life to death. And we are going to go to the cemetery, Newston Cemetery, to the other side of the city. We also need to chant for all the creatures in the cemetery. And then we find the Jade Palace. And when we find the Jade Palace, we can free the butterfly. Oh, no. There will be a book. There's going to be a book in the Jade Palace. And the butterfly needs to touch this book. And so it's going to come up to life. Okay. And Magic is going to carry on all the magic and the wings of the butterfly. Okay. Said, okay, so what do we need to do now? We need to find the butterfly. Okay, there they went. Chloe, where did you go? What did you do when you missed the butterfly? So they were like, would it be here, there, and how can we call a butterfly's attention? And then Vittorio was like, I know, I can give her some snack, they like especially fries and Oreos. I've got one in my pocket. I don't know how somebody can carry an Oreo in a pocket without dismantling, but he got some crumbles of an Oreo, and he was like, I know they love Oreos. We do. Everybody does. Everybody has. And suddenly, just out of the blue, the butterfly came to eat the Oreo. So then it was Vittorio's turn to get back to the car and say, look, I've got it back. So what shall we do? And it was going to be a little bit, dark soon. So they said, no, let's not go around the pond. Let's try going straight to the cemetery and then next to Judd's Palace and see what happens. They had never heard about Judd's Palace over there, but anyway, they would be heading. They all got inside the car, this time Vittorio holding the butterfly and his Oreo crumbles, and they went to the cemetery. They were quite quiet on the way to the cemetery. And see you tomorrow. Story night. Good night.